Con más de 4.540 millones de usuarios de Internet y toda la información llegando por...
So many users on the Internet and so many media and publicity, books, and even gossip, we need to develop competencies to be able to choose our media, to order, and to understand, and to create. This is why we present Campus Meal, with a series of virtual events with experts and opinions from experts of the whole region, so we can think about the information that we use to develop skills, attitudes, and knowledge. Come with us in this trip to be able to learn about the ABC in media. Ready?
Hola, hola.
Hello, everyone. Welcome again to our session number 12 already. This in digital encounter to talk about media, to develop the skills and the competencies that will enable us to use intelligently the media. We will talk with experts, with our public, with young people, people that work within the region that are passionate about these subjects, to discover and understand our media, what we do every day in our training. I am one of those passionate people, and my name is Juan Sebastián Gomez. I am very happy today because we are innovating, creating, and to be able to get closer to the problem in the media with information. Today, I have the honor of presenting AMIdual, the first course online to learn to develop media competencies, the first course. And it was developed by Academy in Guatemala for ASEC and Comunicares, who have been with us during the different sessions at the campus mill. And today I am also accompanied by teachers around Guatemala who are going to explore this program. And especially we thank them for being with us, for taking the time and to join us in this culture of media and information. To open this session, let's get into material. With me today, we have our General Director, Geraldina Camargo from ASEC, who wants to share with you. Welcome. Hello, Sebastián. Welcome and good afternoon to all of you to this new session of Mile Campus, and very happy to be with you in this new chapter, Sebastián. I wanted to welcome all of you. We have teachers, principals of different schools. We have been talking with them within different webinars and also different education sector. And we have to look for solutions, take education so that we're able to receive these new challenges. So the importance of MIL is the media and information literacy, and it's very important because today we are in society receiving so much information, technology, so we have to develop those skills that are unique. So welcome. I think it's an opportunity that we have to develop those skills with this course that has been developed, accompanied with the purpose of thinking in this new citizen that we have to train to be able to see the new reality that we're living. That it has to be a more humanistic education and in harmony to have a more just society. So, Juan Sebastian, thank you for the invitation. It's very important for us too to have your words, Geraldina Camargo. Thank you very much. So now, to be able to cover this area on our digital platform, AMIdual, the first course, to be able to cover this, we have two experts that have been at the MIL campus in Central America. You already know. We have EdgarZamora, who works with multimedia and MIL and Sónica. And of course, Cristina Soto, who is an expert from Comunicares. So again, we're going to share with them, and I know that we're going to learn a whole lot. Welcome. Thank you, Juan Sebastian. It's a pleasure to be here. Hi, Juan Sebastian. Hi, Edgar. And hello to everyone that is with us today. Okay, you're the experts. The first thing that I would like that you explain to us, in general terms, it's not the same, or it can't be the same, to go to class in presential, to sit down at a desk and hear your professor. Or is it the same where you're in front of a computer? I really don't know. But you tell me, what is e-learning? To learn through the computer, maybe with some apps, I don't know. The first thing that I would like to know is, what is e-learning? Can you explain it to us? Cristina. Okay. As you have mentioned, these are virtual spaces for learning and training. These spaces combine internet with technological resources so that knowledge can be much more accessible. E-learning is more flexible. It uses platforms that are amicable, easy to use. It also uses dynamic resources like videos, reading material. The other feature is that it has the possibility of doing it at your own pace, in your own time, your own space. And some platforms are very known in e-learning, for example, Classroom, Moodle. And in summary, e-learning are those spaces, even virtual, that we have and that we can use them to learn. Okay. We're clear on that. I understand then that it's a great opportunity to receive new methodology and new possibilities of learning, which I think it's fantastic. However, Cristina, I think this type of learning that you describe, now that we're in a pandemic, I think that it's very important now. So, and those of us that had to stay home, this meant that we do e-learning at a maximum pace, real large sessions. And I think that many people were not that happy with that. The platforms sound very nice, but people feel that overwhelmed on being all the time on the platform. I want to share with our public, with our audience that are with us today. Before asking you, I want to ask them, what have been the difficulties as students or teachers during this pandemic with this problem of being so much time on the screen? Well, I'm going to begin. One of the main difficulties, is not to make a difference that not all learning online is e-learning. E-learning has specific methodology, and we're going to talk about that because, as you mentioned, very long sessions where you have to be connected, that is not e-learning. So the marvelous part of e-learning is that you find different paths to teach and to learn. Now, from my part, as you have mentioned, is to have long sessions in this pandemic time. But I want to hear what my colleagues can share with us. Edgar? Well, I think that this found us a little bit not ready for them, because those of us that work teaching or in education, somehow in the beginning everything was clear, the planification was clear, a methodology, what we were going to do, what we were going to teach. We had no question about that. And then pandemic comes in, and it makes us turn things around. And I think it has been a learning process, a very fast learning process, very intense. And it was a big challenge. And to learn and see that we don't have to use the same tools that we had been using for so much time. Like you were mentioning, the large sessions, a professor before could come in and give classes for 2 hours in a presential form, but now we have to think from another perspective where we have to place ourselves in the shoes of the person that is receiving the class, and what would be the best form, not only for them to learn, but also that they don't get bored or feel tired, because learning, if you feel it that you're tired, that's not learning, of course. Sometimes it's very difficult to make a balance with that. So those of you in the audience, please write your comments, your answers, the most significant difficulties that you found as a teacher or student during the pandemic. We have to live with platforms. In the case of the teachers and students especially, we cannot just go away from the platform. That's going to be our immediate future. So our reality is that we're going to continue using the digital platforms, even more than normal, until the situation normalizes. And after that, our digital way of living will be much more intense anyway. Because of this, it's important to receive training to have a more critical perspective on media and information literacy. So, to be able to know, to be able to understand, and to know what this is all about, we have AMIdual. And now we have a video produced by Sónica where they explain what they are and how Mill is born. We make decisions every day. What I'm going to drink, coffee or tea? What am I going to hear, jazz or what other music? What am I going to eat? And within all the decisions that we make take with the information we receive, those decisions are very important. The decisions that we take in regard to the information on our daily life, they're very important. The decision of what content to believe, what content to share, what content not to share. To share in our different social media. It has an impact not only on our lives, but on the lives of others. The information we receive, that we use, that we share, or that we create has an influence on our lives. And that's more important than tea or coffee. We have 4 million users of internet. And every day there's a sharing of different information. The critical use of the information that we receive to analyze it, to decode it, to interpret that information, and to understand better our participation in virtual and not virtual spaces. And this helps us to be able to have access to information in a responsible way. And that's where media and information literacy comes in. Knowledge, attitudes to be able to create a critical thinking through media communication, to be able to have your free expressions. Very few countries have media and information literacy, even though it's as important of learning the ABCs. And part of that interaction among humans, we have the internet. We need to understand what's false information, the contents that manipulates. We need teachers, and we don't have enough. That's why AMIdual comes in, a need learning platform to learn to develop competencies in media literacy. This is designed for users to develop competencies. Our courses, you will develop how to have access to content that is trustworthy and how to identify false content, how to take care our privacy on the web, and also to think about the responsibility that we have when we interact in the social media or when we're part of a virtual community. The users can see readings, videos, and to be able to think about the importance of media. Besides, the users have a personalized attention through WhatsApp, and they complement the information through the presential lessons. We have 2 synchronic sessions. The course is for 1 month, and it's available to education institutions to prepare students and teachers. AMIdual is a platform developed by Comunicares through Sónica, with, of course, the support of DW Akademie. Wow, we saw many known faces. Also, Patricia, our colleague, that designs the path in our project at MIL. Now I'm clear on the subject. Well, I'm part of the subject. Very fast. I want to say that this recording, continue commenting. We try to interact with you as much as possible. And this material will be available on our webpage so that you can see it later on. I want to present Gabriela Racines, who is again with us, and she is in charge of the illustration through Doodle. So we will be interviewing her to ask her what she can present in her video memory. And she makes it much easier to understand all these subjects that can seem complicated. Very important so that we can work on media and information literacy. Let's talk about now on the process that has the process. It was before the pandemic. Edgar, how did the idea come and how did you divide the different roles? Tell us about the process.
Well, actually, it has been a hard work process. We have been learning a lot, as you said. This work started actually before the pandemic. And we were not thinking actually what was going to happen with the pandemic, but we were preparing a tool that will assist teachers and they will prepare themselves in the media and information literacy. Actually, we wanted them to duplicate the information about this topic. And we were thinking mainly in teachers, coordinators, and the volunteers, so we held that it is the Radiophonic Institute in Guatemala. And we have a lot of students. We have more than 1 million people that have been through the radiophonic classes. And this institution has been working, and now with Dolce Academy support, they are also working in the media and information literacy in their contents. And the question was, how can we be a support for teachers, for the volunteers in this topic, but within a short period? And in this way, we started to think in the platform of AMIdual. And it just started in a session. We were having a meeting and we were going deep inside on the topic and we were bringing a lot of doubts. We didn't have like a clear path what to do, but we started to meet and we wanted to think about what was the kind of tool and but we wanted a tool helping us to understand what is media and information literacy, and we wanted a tool exactly in the way we're going now, a tool that is helping people to develop their knowledge about media and information literacy. And then we decided the second option, and actually it is helping us. It started in the before the pandemic. We were preparing all the flashcards and posters, what were the topics that we needed to talk about, and we were discussing actually what was going to be the curriculum for this. We had a first meeting, but in this first meeting, we had a lot of questions, and it actually triggered all the knowledge that we were going to work in the secondary paths that we were going to follow. So actually, it was a lot of work. Okay, now let's continue talk about this experience because this is a pioneering experience. So Cristina, can you please explain a little bit about the methodology of AMIdual? Well, actually, it's kind of nice to hear about the beginning of this initiative. And actually, it started like that, like a question. We were brainstorming about the different topics that we wanted to develop, especially for people, so they could have the chance of develop their knowledge and develop their media skills. And we started to make a classification of the topics into different modules. And the thing that we were saying is that we don't want traditional course, the kind of course that you just teach and that's it. No, we wanted to create material that will be entertaining, attractive, easy to understand, and especially something that will be easy to interact, that you can identify yourself with the content. And one of the media and information literacy content is that in our context, in the Latin American context, this topic, it hasn't been explored totally, and still we have a lot of resources. Therefore, in the methodology, I we thought that it could be a good idea to explore the content and go through this. And when we started to think about the methodology, was to make like a validation to the context of the different people as much as we could. Therefore, people could serve in the course and see about the different content, use real examples, and we are not using all the Guatemalan context. We actually use international examples, so people will have a bigger dimension of how the content, the media content, is moved around the world. Once we classified all these topics, we had four different topics with the contents. The first one is searching under the magnifying glass. And this is an approach to the sources that you can trust and how you can verify it. So people start to ask themselves about the content they are consuming and also what are the characteristics this content has to have in order to be true or you can trust on it. Also, to see the different ways you can follow in order to deep inside the content and see if it is true. And also to open the view of people and remind them that there are different sources that are even not just in internet. You have to search for them. And that is the way that we use the name under the magnifying glass. And another thing in media and information literacy, an important topic is the fake news. We all know that fake news is just a little piece of what we call misinformation. Therefore, our second model is breaking misinformation. And we started to activate this idea of being a journalist of the people to create an opinion of the parodies of the different ways of speaking of the way of the people. And when we verify the content, we can use the model second in order to analyze the information because this is very entertaining phase. And then we started to check for the information to assess the experience we can have, the individual experience, especially in internet. Our third module talk about digital security and it's taking the control of your privacy. And here we talk about the digital signature, digital identity, and everything that is happening around to have a bigger dimension about what is happening in internet and that everything has an impact. How you introduce yourself also has an impact. And then we actually is where we study that topic. And the fourth topic is two faces of the web. And this one is that in the media and information literacy, you don't say you don't explain to the people how to behave, how to speak, how to express, but you are explaining in order they understand that everything has positive or negative consequences and everything that happens in internet is not just in internet. Therefore, the module 4 talks about social activism, the hate speech, and the different topics that are helping us to understand this information, something that it is very valuable on the methodology of this topic is that each of the module was thought with the different topics, but not only on this, but also additionally with the skills, creating an analysis, the reflection, and the creation of the information, engaging and to replicate the good efforts and the good content that is really valuable. Another thing that we were thinking was that we cannot just present this content just like this. Therefore, we prepared the videos, audios, reading. We have different resources that are helping people in order to practice everything they learn. And another thing is that if you know, we have four models, but these are not independent ones. Everything is connected. That means that something you learn in a module 1 is going to be useful even in the module 4. Something you learn in the 3, like make an aha moment with what you learned before. Actually, we try to make an application in every module that you are going through. In general, as the video was explaining, sometimes people is not sure about how it works, how long it is going to take, because media and information literacy can be deep and extensive, but eventually we decided to apply it in 1 month, that it is around 30 hours. It is a content that is dynamic with exercises, videos, readings, and this is a little bit of the information I can provide about the methodology. That is fantastic. It's awesome and it's actually great. I would like to start right now with the course. And you already were talking about the little format of the courses. But before moving forward, I just want to read a comment. Oh, it is a greeting. I wanted to ask to Edgar. Edgar, can you explain a little about Camilo, that it is a platform? Can you tell us what is this, how you reached this platform, and how you created the idea of connecting this platform with a device? Well, actually, when we started with all the topic of AMIdual, we were inspired and a journalism course based on radios with another partner of DW Akademie that is in Bolivia. And they came to show us how the platform for e-learning was working. And this was based on radio journalism. And they were working in this platform that was unknown for us, that is Chamilo. And they made a demonstration to Sónica and to some other teachers and the technical staff. And we started to think a little bit about it. And we try this platform. Therefore, when we got the idea of managing a software or a platform in order to teach media and information literacy to teachers, and we remembered very well about this platform. And at the beginning was like maybe someone from Bolivia can come to Guatemala and they can teach us how to manage the platform Camila, but then we realized it is a free platform. It is very simple and it is very easy to handle. Actually, you can do great things in this. We chose to select this platform and start working on this. And Cristina and Eunice, who was also working with Comunicares, they actually went depth in this platform and they checked all the options of Camilo. They saw all the possibilities. They started to fit all the methodology and content of the course in the platform. And we realized that it has a lot of possibilities. We have to be honest, it has its limitations, but it is a great platform. It's working well, and it helps us to do great things. Therefore, we decided to take the topics and teach them through a dynamic way in the platform. And Cristina was saying it is not just about exercise and readings. We also have videos, we have audios, we have multimedia resources, different kind of exercises. And if you come into the course, you are going to realize how helpful is this. And one of the most valuable things of the course is actually how the methodology was designed to make a perfect click with the platform, with the possibilities we can work in Camilo platform. Eventually, we realized that it has very good results. People who have taken this platform, they see it as a very entertaining, very intuitive platform. It's actually fun to work on this. And this is a great thing of working with this platform. It is very valuable. Well, Cristina, a quick question. From all this description Edgar gave us, and from all the gadgets and tools that you were studying deeply for the platform, what was the one that called to your attention the most? Can you tell us? I know that we're going to see it later, but
A mí
from
me
the technical point
gustó
of view,
poder
okay,
grabar
what I
audios
like is
dentro de la
that
plataforma
I
y que
could
ese fuera
record
un
audios
ejercicio,
within the platform
porque
and to
creo que
make
los
this
demás,
an
aunque brindan
exercise
siempre esa
because
parte
I
intuitiva que
have
también
seen
son muy
that in
fáciles de
all their
utilizar como
platforms,
ejercicios de
and this
conexión,
is
de
easy.
respuesta múltiple,
You can
que
have
algunos tienen
a
videos,
multiple
tenemos
response to
lecturas,
questions.
pero
You
creo que
can
este
add
tipo de
readings,
audio
but
es
the
súper
element of
interesante porque
audio,
si
it's
es un
really
curso de
interesting
e-learning
because if
que vas a
you
tu
are
tiempo, vas a
having
tu
an
ritmo
e-learning
y
course
sabes que
that it
alguien te va a
is to
escuchar,
your pace
creo que también
and you
es
know that
algo muy
somebody is going to
característico
listen to
de este
you,
curso, tener la
this
posibilidad
makes
de
it
expresarte.
like great
Te
in with
ofrece,
a unique
digamos,
characteristic
diferentes
because it is
maneras
offering you different
para realmente
ways
dar a conocer lo que
to
tú sientes, lo que tú vas asimilando
express
también sobre
what
el
you
tema.
feel
Creo
and
que
what
eso es
you are
algo
assimilating from the
bastante
content.
curioso, digamos, y
And
muy útil
I
dentro
could say
de
that this is very
AMIdual. Y
unique
es que
and useful
constantemente
in
estás
AMIdual
recordando lo que
because
vas aprendiendo.
continuously you are reflecting in what you learn. Additionally, as you were saying at the beginning, there is a big possibility to have the in the e-learning process, and it can be a little more diverse, and actually you can learn, and this is a great advantage. We will continue sharing with you all the contents. Um, and sometimes I know because one of the comments here says that the physical distance, the lack of connection are obstacles, but these are challenges. And beside these challenges that has been expressed here, please share with us other thoughts, other challenges. If you want to know something more, you can ask your questions, please. Okay, now we are going to show you with a little more detail what is a midwall in the technical position. And we're going to see from the platform. And I want to make a link with another expert, the coordinator of AMIdual, María José Meza from
Sí, yo le
Sónica.
escucho. ¿Cómo estás?
Do you hear us? Yes, I hear. Well, we're thrilled here. We are excited and we want to know a little more about you. And if I ask you to define in one phrase your own experience about AMIdual, what would you say?
Diferente.
Well, I will say it's different.
Creo que es que ha sido
Well,
diferente para mí
you
porque
know, it has been
tener este
actually
acercamiento
different
contigo,
for
pero
me because
a distancia, por decirlo así,
having
también ha
this
sido muy
approach to
enriquecedor y
people
muy bueno
in the
para mí, la verdad.
distance, it has
Conocer
been
esta plataforma
incredible. And knowing this platform, actually, it is interesting and it has been fabulous. Okay. Briefly, I will like to see all the art that has been worked during this process. And I want to remind you that this AMIdual is being supported by the UNESCO, and it actually supports the free expressions and all the items that are linked in this communication area supported by Dolce Academy, also with the different partners, not just in Guatemala, but in other 20 countries around the world. And all of them are continuously dedicated, working in pro of the media and information literacy in order to empower people to in the about their rights. Okay, I would like thank you, Gabriela, for showing us your art. And later you are going to talk a little bit more about this. But I also wanted to come back to talk to Maria Jose and to have a little more concrete ideas. Do you know how many people has been enrolled already? How are the users doing? Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Right now, we have about 100 people that have enrolled. We have 6 graduates already, 6 years of graduates, 6 different promotions, and we have worked with journalists, and we worked with university in New Mexico, and the people are really having a good time with this platform. They are enjoying it. So having this option for the people that has so many resources and and not just to sit and talk about the media and information literacy, but also they can work with different videos, and I'm going to show you how the platform works, and they have really enjoyed it. People are happy with it, and they continue using it because it is very good. Well, let's go. Do you want to present the platform now? Of course, your baby. Let's see all the efforts of all the organizations. Okay, let's see. Okay, so this is how it looks like. I'm going to show you one of the exercises. One of the first exercises that we have, it's a timed exercise. We give all the instructions in a very simple way so that everybody understands. And here we begin it. Here we have the clock, and the participant can respond to all the questions like here. And what we were trying to do is it's like a game, and they have enough time to be able to solve it. For example, the format is simple. It has multiple options, and it's a very amicable platform. Let me show you another one. Here we have my favorite. I had never seen something like this on the internet. And when I took the course, I was very surprised because we can join the different points. So it's a way of not doing the same thing over and over again. And then, as we talked before, sometimes we put audios so that they can hear them and then they respond to the questionnaire. We also have the option so that the participants can express their opinion on different subjects. For example, this is a forum and they can talk about a specific subject, and they can have interaction among themselves, like this one, for example. Let me show you. Just a second, please. I am going to show you Cristina's favorite that she was talking about. Let's see. This is Cristina's favorite. This is a place where the participants can record their audio. So it's part of hearing them and hearing their point of view and interacting with them. Just a second, please. So as you can see, we give clear instructions and we also time it. And they just push this button and begin the recording, and then they finish recording and they finish their exercise. It's a very amicable platform. And here you can see the information where the exercise has been finished and sent. You could also hear if you weren't sure of what you had recorded. So this is how AMIdual looks like. This is the page, and these are the different models. When you go working through the model, you will be able to see the different lessons, and the structure is more or less like this. You're going to have a video in the beginning, an introduction to the subject. You're going to receive a welcoming message. You will see different things to read, which you can read from on the same page or download. You can also keep all this material. You can download it and keep it for your own use later on also. Very good. I am fascinated with this. Do you have anything else to show us? Go ahead. We have a question here. They're talking about guidelines to a manual for the platform, I think. But it's such a user-friendly platform that I guess the first task will give you the instructions in the beginning. We have a meeting, a first meeting and a virtual meeting. We talk about it. We talk about the platform. We explain. We're talking for teachers though. And I'm asking you, the virtual session, is it for the users of the platforms or the teachers that want to use the platform for the students? For the users of the platform. Okay. We give them a virtual tour and we show how each aspect can be used. And we also have communication through WhatsApp, and there's always people that can help you out if you have any trouble. Anything else that you would like to show us? No, that's it. Well, it's very good. Okay, I have another question. It's just a technical curiosity. Is there any type of test? Because you have a finished lesson, is there any other type of test that you carry on? Well, we have a final evaluation. It has 4 or 5 lessons, and each model has their evaluation. Each model is individual. You should finish each model. And how is that evaluation? It depends. For example, in the first module, the evaluation is a text that the tutor reads and grades and gives any orientation. And the 3 is the audio that I showed you. Oh, that would work as the final evaluation of that model. Yes. Do you think we have to know a lot to be able to approve the model? Well, everything is in there. So if you worked on your model, you will be able to answer your test. Well, When I was in school, I didn't do that well, but let's see, because I'm going to take that course. But it's also different. It's not like you're going to have the same thing as before, so it's going to be easier. Yeah, I'm sure that's going to be easier. The idea is to open thinking and to be able to use the media. It doesn't require a great deal of theory to be known, but rather it's another level of knowledge. And so I'm going to go to Edgar. What have you perceived from the people, the reactions of using the platform? Well, the truth is that this was designed to be used without a pandemic. So the idea was that we would give them the access to the platform. We had a presential workshop, and we would show it to them. We showed basic concepts, and then they could stay working on the platform, and then we would have another workshop where we could deepen in the different subjects. And then came March. We had put on our calendar a test with a series of people to see how it worked and to see if it made sense of how the platform was working and if the presential workshops made sense. But then the pandemic came in before those tests. So it gave relevance because it's a platform that you can work at. It was difficult, huh? Yeah, it was difficult because we just had to stay home and wished for the best. But at the end, we saw that it acquired a relevance that we hadn't seen before. All the digital platforms in the pandemic, for example, Zoom, the creator of Zoom never imagined that 2 or 3 months after he would have to contract more staff. None of us thought this was coming. And so with this tool that you're presenting, that it's very key in the pandemic, and it worked. It worked. We saw that it had much more potential than we thought in the beginning. So we did a pilot group with different people from ASEC, from Comunicares, and from the University Rafael Landívar, and we started a little bit, insecure of what we were doing, but then we began to receive very good comments. There was a lot of feedback of things we had to improve, and that we improved not only on the platform but in methodology. But at the end, it was satisfactory to see that it worked well, and that it not only worked well, but we could offer this tool. And then we had more people enrolling, and we had more people receiving and finishing the courses. And the comments have been very good, very positive. We've had a lot of feedback. And also requests to be able to share the platform with other teachers, with other students. We have we've done it with students from the university, professors working at universities, and of course, people from ASEC and others. But we have seen that this platform, its scope, has much more scope than what we thought in the beginning. And somehow, conscious and unconsciously, we talked about it in that meeting that we talked about in the in the beginning that anyone could take this course, from a university professor or a high school student. And I think we were able to do that. And I think that this is one of our best outputs, and people that have taken the course had given us their positive feedback. Very interesting. Here where I am, we want to take this course. We want to ask you, I want to ask María José, how long does it last? Is there any certificate at the end? And what specifications do I need to be able to attend? Do I need a super computer? 4 weeks, it lasts 4 weeks, 1 month. You just need to have internet. It can be a computer or your smartphone, and be willing to take the course. Yeah, be willing, right? Wanting to be there. Yeah, we have that. I know that it's not only me, but many of the participants that are listening. The institution that you participate in and want to participate in AMIdual, you can register in the link I'm going to show you on the screen. There it is. You can contact also on the webpage of MIL, or if you want to receive more information, you can request it in the chat also. If you're interested in receiving more information, I am sure that we can get into contact with Sónica and the people that are in charge of designing and implementing this platform. Okay. I wanted to go back with Gabriela and ask her, what real scenarios or examples on how to understand news? What did you think that was important to put into real scenarios and put it in the exercises? How can I see real life situations, things that can happen to us, and while we're on the internet? Tell me a little bit about that, the different examples that you have, Cristina. Yeah, that's me. The first thing that we did was that if we think about media and information literacy is news, it's politics, it's economy, it's maybe an international panorama. When we interact with information and with content, it's everything. It's a meme, it's a GIF, it's a reading, it's a magazine, or it can be a library. It can be a movie library. And this is very important to see what the people see every day. In this case, Guatemalans, what do we see every day? The most used media, the pages that are more contacted. That was key, so that the content would be accessible and that you could say, yes, okay, with this type of content, I am going to see that tomorrow. I'm going to see it in an hour or right now. So I think that was key for us. And the other thing that you already mentioned is how to dimension our participation online. There are certain subjects that can be sensitive when we talk about interaction on the internet. And one of them are sexting, where voluntary erotic material is sent, and then we located cases to give examples of the scope this could have. But we don't talk about morals, if it's good or bad, but rather the analysis of cases, of critical analysis of the participants. That makes it enriching for the AMIdual course. It's a constant analysis on how others interact with the information, but you're always thinking about it, what you do with the information, and how you interact on the web. I think that those two components, analysis and reflection, helps people to understand better the examples. We use real examples in hate speech online, which sometimes we take as normal situations that happen because people on the social media sometimes get into fights. It was very easy to find examples like that. So that would be from my part what I could say, that we use real examples. Edgar, I don't know if you would like to add something else. Edgar, I know that after you, we also have concrete testimonies of what Cristina is talking about, because there's so much that we can talk about in the interaction of media. I know that you bring us some examples, so yes, share your experience, and maybe then we can also see something else. With
With what
what
Cristina was
Cristina
saying,
is saying,
and it is about AMIdual, that it is based on this experience of people with media. And I think that enriches the, the course, and nothing is weird in all the topics that we learned. Everything is well known for everybody. This is related to the day-to-day routine, like messaging, like checking our Facebook, see the publications, share a WhatsApp chain that we actually don't know it is not true. And AMIdual is conceived from the habit of media consumption, and that is actually attractive, and it is well known for people who are studying the course. And just to think a little bit about the context in this phase of continue improving the platform and enhancing the synchronous sessions that we have from Module 1 to Module 4, we are continuously working in the different improvements that we are working, and actually we are based on the comments we receive from the people who are taking the course. And at the end of the sessions, we request to the participants to fill out a form that it is a survey they have to fill, and we actually see the comments. We're going to show you some of the comments here, and maybe Maria Jose can give us a little more information about it, because she is the person who is totally in touch with the student. And I don't know how she's not crazy yet, because she has to receive all the messages. Okay, it's your time. So tell us, what is the experience? Okay, like he was saying, at the end of the synchronous sessions, we have this form to receive the feedback of the participants. And these are some comments we have received. It is entertaining, you change the activity, you have readings, you have games, and people appreciates that. I like the information a lot. The information was very complete and dynamic, and it is supported with videos and other resources. And all these comments are collected from the different promotions that we have had from the first one to the last one. And congratulations for the initiative. It has a lot of important content for the youth because they are in risk in the web because they don't know of the different topics that can be learned here. Thank you very much for everything. And actually, not just topics, math because of the confusion of the word. Okay. Congratulations, everyone. From the point of view of the communication theory, the message is direct, it's straight, and it helped me to understand. It is very valuable. And there are several things I think that are connected, no, with the things that we have seen in other kind of information from school to university. Yes, actually, indeed, it is. I like the different variety of activities we have, the videos, audios, readings, research, and actually that's what we were looking for, that we didn't want like a tired thing. The organization is presenting different topics in different models, and you can be connected from the beginning and have a relation with all the different topics. And Cristina was saying this, that everything is connected and it enriches more and more the topic for the participants. And the thing that I like the most is the dynamic way that I learn through the process and about every content. And I like it very much, the different resources like videos, exercises, and it actually goes after the different conception of the different people. It's very punctual. You have a very material that is very easy to understand, an easy presentation, and it is what we were looking for, to that the students create their own analysis. Well, I was an undergraduated some time ago, but I don't know if you don't know that, but now you have a lot of resources, not like in the past when I was studying. And everything is related to education, to learn, to be part of this e-learning platform. Did you take something specific from other model? I know that the gadgets were already there and you just took the possibilities because those were pre-set up. But how do you invent a new conception on this? Well, actually, we didn't invent this. Well, I think that the work was very exhaustive in regard to collect information and content. Also, to be a mediator on that content. Well, if you ask about the specific source, it's difficult to say this source it is because we analyzed the blogs, university courses. Edward was already talking about the experience other colleagues had with this radio journalism course. We were watching videos, we were just checking the different videos length, and we were checking the quality on reading, and it was an exercise of making an analysis of our own face-to-face training. We all come from the same school, and we have received also the support from DW Akademie to control the different roads and check all the learning that we wanted to come to bring together. And I just want to add something additional. You were saying it. There are a diversity of tools, of resources, and you can have plenty of them, but if the content is not good, those don't work. And I think that that makes rich the AMIdual course because we have thought it as a conversation, and we is not like it is not a hierarchy making us here up and you are down. We actually have a horizontal work, exchanging knowledge. We do not assume that people don't know anything what we're talking about. We are just making them to reflect on what we are saying. And that is my thought and about the tools and about the inspiration of AMIdual. And also about a topic that I was discussing with a topic, when you talk about digital technology, especially in social media and different platforms, that pyramid in the structure of learning that you can have, for example, in law, that it's very clear in the digital technologies and the use you give to the technology is totally different because you here come to a connection point and you cannot be a person who knows it all and knows about the media about the social media and the technologies. It's complicated because here is not just people, it is algorithms, it is scientific technical people, everybody. It's coming to a connecting point here. And they are just, we have to think that there are also people who are thinking only to make profits of it. And we have to see all this entire constellation of people that is involved and engaged. And you have to think about what you want to offer. And it is important to know all the general overview of the of this environment. And Amido Wall has this object that you have to keep the perspective and to keep the relation and in what is interesting. And that is the point of origin for you. You have to see the news, to verify the news, to see what was the source. And I think that's special. Do you have something else to add? I want to say something else. To people who are already studying the AMIdual course, at the end of the course, they receive a certificate and it has been signed by the ASEC principal and also by Comunicares, Oneida Rodas, and also uh, by Patricia Boal by DW Akademie. And those certificates are given to the different participants who have finished the course. And there is an actual certification that actually provides the information that you have approved the course. And that was a question that was just in the air. Thank you for your comment. Okay, there is a certificate, there is a proof. Okay, everything is clear for those who are interested. We have to reinforce again that in Dolce Valley Academy website and the Campus AMI website, you can find all the data, information, and also the form. It's already in the chat box. So you can find it there. You can find a link and you can just open it from the chat box. Okay? We are getting to the end of the presentation of this experience. Okay, let's see how Gabriela is doing all the piece of art that she's creating now. Do you hear us? Yes, I hear perfectly. Okay, let us know what you are doing. Okay, right now I am just finalizing with keywords that help us to understand what is all this experience. First, we understand through Cristina, María José, what e-learning means. And we understand that it is an online learning process. We understand what are online classroom, and we also find it AMI platform that it is complete, inspired in the consumption by the different people. Therefore, it is a platform that covers different challenges that has a lot of resources. It's very object with full of information. It creates analysis and a critical reflection about the content in internet. And also we have to take care of our security. We have 4 modules in a course, and all of them are complete. Here we can see the names of the modules. We have 3 hours of information in these media resources with audios, videos, and it is entertaining. It has also the assistance of having an online tour, and it is wonderful because you always keep a real contact with people. Well, I love the bean coach. It's wonderful. Okay, it will be great to learn in that way, no? I know that not everybody has a family to have that environment all together. A mom checking after you, what you are looking at. It's wonderful, no? In that way, we will learn a lot and faster. I'm sorry for my interruption, but I get excited. No, actually, it's perfect. It's the complement that I wanted to talk. It is due to the pandemic. Some people had finished their studies in this way, and from their homes, they can have all these resources to stimulate the reflection based on the information that we received by internet. Great. It's wonderful. It's brief. It's concrete. Okay, ideas. What is the objective of AMIdual? And second, what do we need to know? If we want to know more about media and information literacy, what are the skills we need to think critically? That is highly important, and we will be insisting and we will repeat that all the time. Okay? We have presented this experience that is leaving us a lot of expectation, and I see a big potential on this. And I want to say to all the partners who are here with us and we have been talking, I want to ask them about their final reflection. What do you see it in the future? How do you see it? And what is still missing? What is the objective in short, medium, and long term? What is the, how do you see me dual in 1 year without a pandemic, hopefully? And in different conditions. And Maria Jose, too, how do you project your work in the future? What has been missing at this time? So maybe you can do and create a fast balance right now. Okay. I think that in a time I will love to have synchronous sessions to people face to face and to have a closer approach to them. And I hope that this course will reach a lot of people to communities in the country and to have a bigger AMIdual because it provides a lot of information. It can be helpful for everyone. Okay. I want to hear Cristina. Okay, let's talk about the future. How do you see the future of AMIdual? Well, the future, I see it like in a continuous updating. AMIdual is presenting topics that are related to everyone and the increasing usage of internet. It is going to get bigger actually. We have to collect more examples of data contents, increase the content in order to provide a combination of it that will be a little more interesting for those who are studying AMIdual. And actually, I see it going to other countries. That is a great expectation that has been there. So you want to make an international platform. Wow, that's great. And as you said, the problem is in general. Yes, and actually one of the greatest factors of AMIdual is that it is contextualized to the Guatemalan citizen, but it is also easy to understand for anybody. So it will be very easy to make a real context of it in other places. I think it is wonderful. So AMIdual speaks by itself. So I believe that it is going to be international and it is going to be updated. Okay, I hope it is. But Chris, what is still missing in all these prospects that you were talking about? Um, what, what is missing for the future to reach an initiative maybe in South America, in the Caribbean, beyond Guatemala? What is still missing to get there? Well, what is still missing is the component called the people. Because AMIdual is a course, but it is designed for people. So you can inquire yourself about your habits, your attitudes, your behavior. Well, I think that what is missing in AMIdual is to follow up a little bit more people who are with us and to keep that contact with them and to know where AMIdual is installed in the daily life of people. And it could be here in Guatemala or anywhere else. And I believe that is a very important and interesting aspect, how to engage people who have been in AMIdual and be the duplicators of those efforts in other places. That will be really interesting to know.
Porque yo lo tenía en mi cabeza, estaba pensando justo en eso. Claro,
It
si hay
was
una
good that you said it. I had it in my head. If a person is as curious as you and myself, and they continue talking in the topic, they can be a duplicator of all of this. And I think that it will be helpful for the decisions taken by teachers. Actually, there will be seats.
tiempo, tus reflexiones finales.
Sí, bueno, yo también imagino a
I
AMIdual.
also imagine AMIdual in other countries, as Cristina has mentioned. It is put under the context of Guatemala. So a platform and a methodology that can adapt to other contexts. I think that that is something that I believe that can happen and that will happen. And then definitely, I believe that in technology and in the social media and the way we interact with the media, there's always many jumps. It's going so fast. So I think that in that sense, later or sooner, we have to consider that there are social media and ways of communicating, and that we need to have a next step with other things that we haven't covered, and we can do it. What would that second step have? What would that second step have? I think that that second level could have updating in tendencies of use, or maybe could be a course oriented to training people that will multiply this information. Yes, it's thought for professors, for students, for multipliers, but these people have to develop their competencies on media and information literacy. Number two could be how to implement that in the classroom, what concepts or what methodologies and tools can be used that could have that second grade. Very interesting. When we heard at the AMI campus different experiences, we heard about that that training is not only to improve the content, but also so that people can become multipliers of knowledge. We thank you. My admiration, my love, great initiative. Let's look at our doodle memory, and you can have access to that doodle memory on our webpage. And it's going to be a video that is a little bit shorter, but you can see in that doodle memory very specific things and the link also. I think that this will reach large areas, and we know that there are surprises coming up, but we received the gossip around that, and that AMIdual will come next year with new surprises. So thank you very much. Thank you, participants. Those of you that were with us, that with your comments, thank you. And of course, EdgarZamora, Cristina Soto, María José Meza, the coordinator. And thank you very much. We hope to see you soon in a new edition of Campus AMI. And until then, bye-bye.